home of the 41st annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship. My name's Jack Rapella alongside Mark Tilley. Thanks so much for joining us for this bonus coverage here on the Racing Jack YouTube channel. Mark, we have listened to the fans, and we are giving them more live coverage. We were live on Dirt Bike Magazine moments ago, Racing Jack now. We're headed for MXA later, but boy, this place is packed. 1,400 riders, 20 countries, and we're getting set for the 50-plus Moto coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, 50-plus Pro Moto, absolute legends. We got people like Doug Dubya, Kurt Nicole. I mean, if you watch them in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, maybe even into 2000s. I mean, I've been watching Doug Dubya, I think, since I was born. So it's one of those things to where if you have somebody that you've watched that kind of stuff, like, it's definitely a cool thing to be here. And I think, from what they're telling us, Josh Mosman from Motocross Action Magazine had a chance to catch up with Doug Dubya, the legend. Let's hear what he had to say.
For the 50-plus Moto. Remember this, one quote that I want to impart to everybody is, you don't quit riding motorcycles because you get old. You get old because you quit riding motorcycles. Take a look at the pits, just jam-packed here. San Bernardino, Glen Helen, over 1,400 entries. And I do believe now Doug Dubya standing by. Let's send you down to that.
We are here with Doug Dubya. I call him Mr. World Vet. This guy has won this race 30 times. And Doug, it's really fun to watch you because it gives me hope. I'm 29. Next year, I'm 30. I become a real vet rider next year. I'm not vet yet, next year. But when I become a real vet rider, I mean, I'm still maybe a little bit of a try hard. But next year, I'll be 30. But you give me hope, man. You rip on the track, and it was just fun watching you today. The Pasha 50-plus open class, and Kurt Nicole was keeping you honest at the beginning. He had a bike problem, fuel-injected. KTMs are a little iffy right now. Little finicky, but what is it that keeps you coming back? Because you and Kurt Nicole, like, you guys just dice every single year, and it seems like neither one of you wants to let off the gas and just settle for second.
Yeah, you know, I keep joking with him. We're kind of getting up there in the years to be laying it all out there quite like that. But now he's a good competitor. You know, the joke I have about Kurt is when he was first coming to these, you know, and I was beating him, and he wouldn't even look at me on the podium. He would just sit over there and growl. And so I feel like it's a pretty big achievement to get Kurt to become your friend. So we're buddies. You know, we race lots of races all over the world together. And he's always now a good sport.
That's cool. That's cool. Kurt is a fierce competitor. DRD, Dubya Racing, and YZ 135s, 2 strokes, Glen Helen, World Vet Championships, 30 titles. Can't get much better.
What an absolute legend, and we'll see if he can bring home the win. It's not going to be easy because look at this field, and it begins with Kurt Nicole, another absolute top rider in the world. This field is stacked. These guys may be a little older, Mark, but they still haul the mail.
Oh yeah, and they'll take each other out for a couple bucks. I mean, it's definitely going to be some racing action. Like I said, Kurt Nicole, Ralph Schmidt was number 73. Used to be the TM importer for the United States. But I mean, a stacked gate. Look at Gordon Ward is going to be another guy to look at. I get to battle Gordon Ward at some of the off-road races, some of the NGPCs that we do, and some of the SRAs. So Gordon Ward will be there, Sean Hyland. Like, there is lots of guys that can take it away from Doug and Kurt. But you think, Kurt is a former world champion and second in the world in MXGPs, and then came over and did some stuff with Nitro Circus. Now has I think it's called the Champ Factory when it comes to his riding and rentals and racing and stuff like that. So he's riding all the time. I think he might even still do some testing for KTM on the backside. So Doug still has DRD, Dubya Racing Development, still a big part of that. Jahan has actually taken that over, but Doug's still a big part of the testing and development of Dubya Racing products. So these guys are riding all the time, and like I said, absolute legends. That gate is going to be full here really shortly, and we're going to see them go back to their 20s.
Cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen. We're just moments away from kicking this off. It'll be 20+1 for these finely conditioned athletes that are 50 years young or older. Taking a look at the beautiful mountains in the background. It is a perfect day for racing here at Glen Helen. Again, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Racing Jack YouTube channel. Make sure you smash subscribe. And I see all you watching live. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're at. We're here, San Bernardino, California. I hope everybody has an opportunity to come to what we like to affectionately call Bud Feldkamp's Sandbox, one of the most famous and legendary and iconic tracks in the world, one of the most brutal tracks, and nobody knows that better than the man sitting next to me, Mark Tilley. I want to give him a big shout out, by the way. Mark playing hurt here this weekend. Mark, thanks for being here after that rough get-off you had last week.
Yeah, no, we definitely went from off-road racing and falling on the ground to now we're going to ride around the track in this amazing drone footage. This is the legendary Talladega first turn. It's a right-hand first turn, kind of go over a little bit of a raise right here, and then you make another right-hand turn and kind of come back. A lot of this section is going to be a little bit sandier than normal because they bring in sand for this section, and then you're going to kind of go over, scrub this, and then you head up the backside of Mount St. Helen, and you're going to kind of do this and then work your way up, and then when you make the turn at the top, you're coming down what feels like a skyscraper, and you're coming down wide open. And for the vet race, they put it in to where they make this kind of horseshoe at the bottom, and then you go back up Yamaha, and we call this Yamaha Hill, and then you make the abrupt U-turn at the top and come right back down and come back underneath the Yamaha bridge. All of this really high speed, really big elevation changes. This great drone footage doesn't give you the kind of the difference in elevation. Then you kind of work your way back into what we call the canyon, go over this hump, and then kind of go off to the side. This section was brought in way back in I believe in the late 90s for the National. Now you're coming back out of the canyon. Later on, there's going to be, as you can see, there's shadows there. Then you come to the infamous Glen Helen hip jump, and then kind of come over some of the tunnel jumps that we use for the endurance races and stuff like that. And then you're heading back out onto, we call it it's commonly known as the REM track section or the Arroyo Grande part. Kind of go back and it's going to be a little bit harder packed back there. Then you kind of jump back into what is the national track. This section you can double there, or some people are tripling through that rhythm section. You come into here where there's a left-hand turn. That's a harder turn. It's kind of off camber. There isn't anything to bank off of. Come back into some singles. And then this is a really sandy section and will get rough. It's not that rough right now. We're early in the day. And then come into the last section, last right-hand turn before you kind of go down the start straight, or come down the finish line straight, and then make that last left-hand turn. And some people are going to be looking for this checkered flag right about here. And that's a lap at the legendary Glen Helen.
What a great feeling it is. Shout out to Max Massamo, our talented drone operator. He's ready to go racing. Shout out to that lovely young lady. That's Melissa, our flagger. She's got the pink hair ready to go. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you had a great one as we continue to give you a look at this iconic race course. 35 stories of elevation up this mountain. This was the home to pro motocross for so many years. So many big-time events still taking place here. We covered Moto Fest this year. Of course, the two-stroke nationals on the Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube channel. NGPC testing here week in, week out. They are always busy at Glen Helen, and I hope everybody has an opportunity to come enjoy this mark.
And there's so many different events going on here. Like, in a weekend, we could have this big, the Dubya World Vet Championships going on, and then as when we panned out, you got a truck race going on down the way. What you just saw on the left-hand side of the screen was Pro Circuit's Supercross track for their professional race team. There's a track above that as well. There's the track in the back that we called the REM track, or the Arroyo Vet track, and that's running stuff all the time. There's a stadium cross track that Tony Alessi has the AME series that goes on for the kids over there. So in any given weekend, and then they use this event for right over the hill. There is a pavilion that holds concerts and stuff. So there's always something going on at Glen Helen. Bud and Lori doing an amazing job with all of their people that are here. But this weekend, it's all about the Dubya Vet World Championship.
That's right. As we get you set for the 50-plus pros, they are lining up right now, getting those spots on the gate. Right now, we're just finishing up 55-plus expert and 55-plus intermediate. They're on the racetrack right now. We appreciate everybody watching. Again, give us a share. Let everybody know that we are live from Glen Helen, kicking off a big weekend of racing. We'll be live later on the MXA YouTube channel. Remember, it's not just about individuals here this weekend. It's about countries. Can Team Canada repeat? Does the United States of America have anything? Can they possibly win this thing? We saw Team Italy win it 2 years ago. It has been hotly contested, and a lot of national pride at stake this weekend.
Well, and look, those are flags. They're barely flying. There's a nice breeze here. It doesn't get any better than this type of weather. If it may be a little bit more overcast, it might be better for the riders, but for spectators, people are walking around in shorts and T-shirts, and lots of young ladies in tank tops out there and going from there. So this place, it doesn't get any better than this, and the weather for this. We did start to see a little bit earlier, we got to see some of those riders lining up. We got to see 744. That's Gordon Ward. Keep an eye on him. He's been giving me fits later on at some of the off-road races. So it's definitely Gordon's going to be fast. Kurt Nicole's going to be fast, and Doug Dubach's going to be fast. Now, I don't think Gordon has won one of these before.
Wow.
I think he might have won some motos, but I don't think he's ever won an overall Dubya Vet World Championship. And that's definitely a bummer, because I line up with the guy, and he's exactly 10 years older than me. I'm 48. He's 58. So and I always think about him on the line when I'm getting ready to go. And it's great. I love racing Gordon. I get to race him all the time. Been able to race him for the last 20 years. He is the inventor of the heel clicker.
He is. Okay, very cool.
He was the first one to do a heel clicker, doing it at Paris Raceway back in the mid to late 90s.
Super cool, guys. As you saw moments ago, white flag out for these 55-plus experts in intermediate as we get ready to go for the 50-plus Pro Moto 1. Thank you so much for joining us on Racing Jack YouTube. I want to know in the comments, drop how old you are. Do you still ride dirt bikes? Don't ever stop, guys. It is a wonderful sport. Even if you're not out there banging bars on the motocross track, get on those bikes, do a little woods ride, and have some fun. It's great exercise. Just don't do what Mark Tilley did last week and break 8 ribs. Unfortunately, that does happen from time to time.
And I know, I'm lucky because all of the safety equipment has come really far. I had a 60 ATR3 helmet on, and then I had a Liette chest protector on along with my CD boots and FXR gear and all that stuff. And as bad as it is, and as bad as I'm hurting, it definitely could have been worse. And that's all because of the kind of equipment we have. So I know, Jack, you have a couple motorcycles in the garage. You've been traveling around, catching some of the biker stuff and the Daytona stuff and going to all the rallies and stuff like that. Have you had a chance to ride that new Beta?
Man, I can't wait. I want to get this Beta 390.
That's like 3 months.
I know, man. Shame on me. I have been on the road. As you can tell, if you watch this channel and Cycle Drag, I have been covering as much motorcycle action as I possibly can, but I have promised myself, when I get done with this race, it is time to go have some throttle therapy and twisted. I also got the old school Kawasaki KX250 tonight. Nothing like a two-stroke. If you guys just watched our previous moto, congratulations to Mr. Holeshot, Mike Alessi. He took the win in the Pasha 125cc machine, and this place just smelled great. So,
well, and make sure you go watch that on Dirt Bike Magazine's YouTube channel, because the second moto and the deciding moto on who gets the cash from Pasha will be live on Motocross Action's YouTube channel later on today. And if you're watching this on a different date, you can still go there because it will be there on both Dirt Bike. You can watch first moto on Dirt Bike, second moto on Motocross Action, along with that World Cup that we talked about. All kinds of stuff going on between these 3 YouTube channels, that the technology that we're being able to bring and all of the production staff being able to bring you is absolutely amazing.
I love it. I love where we're headed here in the year 2025 and beyond. I often tell the story. I used to have to read about these races months later in Dirt Bike Magazine and MXA and all the newsletters. We are bringing you this coverage live, and I believe we're racing to a finish here. I think this is our battle for the lead in the 55 intermediate and expert category as we get the 50 pros ready to go. Mark, you could tell us better than anybody how much of an energy drainer is this Glen Helen racetrack by the time you get to the final turns here.
Oh, there's so many things around this track that will make you hold your breath and make your arms pump up and kind of go from there. There's our official flagger right there. Got the pink hair flowing, and there it is.
Melissa throws the checkered flag. Big congratulations to that rider, one of the many motos. Remember, over 1,400 riders, 20 countries represented here at beautiful Glen Helen Raceway as we now turn our attention to 50-plus Pro Moto. Something interesting, too, that you're allowed to do out here on the West Coast. I have to get clarification on this that you can't do on the East Coast. I noticed that you're allowed to prep in front of the gate. We'll see a lot of the teammates come out there and prep. You can't do that on the East Coast. I know from firsthand experience. I almost got my friend disqualified back in Steel City back in the days. But that's something that is accepted out here, right?
Yeah, and it's something I think that is an AMA rule. It's one of those things to where you can't go on the other side of the gate with AMA sanctioned events and really AMA amateur sanctioned events. And I think that the AMA out west, we have so many different sanctioning bodies and stuff like that it's not all like that. So local races, yeah, we can go out and do that kind of stuff. It's actually a shock for us when we can't do that. Off-road racing, you're able to do all that kind of stuff and be able to prep your gate and do that. But, yeah, out here where you can go and you can prep that thing all the way to the first turn if you want. Naturally, at Glen Helen, it comes across that start straight, so you can go about that far. But, yeah, you can have for these events, you can have that kind of stuff. But I think back east it's a little more strict for the going on the other side of the gate. And if you're watching from back east, or if you're a California guy and you're watching and you need some work on your maybe your race vehicle or just your car, IWC Tire Pros, Justin and the crew down at IWC Tire Pros can do just about anything you need. I was lucky enough to buy a little project truck for my son, a little 95 Ford F-150, and they had a lift for it, and they put a lift on it and kind of went from there. But, yeah, the guys at IWC Tire Pros will take care of you. Justin, his wife, family event. But it looks like we got
look at this, Mark. Look at this. We got the 50-plus pro riders on the gate. 30-second card is out. Shout out to all of our viewers watching us live. It is whole shot time as we get ready to hit this drag strip known as the Talladega straightaway. Who will get the whole shot? Keep an eye on Kurt Nicole, Doug Dubach. We are banging bars into the most famous turn in motocross. Somebody way out in front. Is that Doug Dubach? Wow, the Yamaha.
It's a Yamaha, but it doesn't look like Doug Dubach. Dubach's got enough whole shots here on his way to his 30-plus. I believe that is number one. Was that 119? I don't see Dubach or Kurt Nicole in the top 5.
Oh, my, and that could make some interesting, compelling horsepower theater as we continue to progress. We welcome you guys once again to the 41st Annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship as we go 35 stories high up to Mount St. Glen Helen. These motorcycles using every ounce of horsepower they have. As for the bikes, Mark, that we see in this category, is this 450s and 250s?
Yeah, it's a run whatever you brung. And I believe that the rider that got the whole shot on that Yamaha was an international rider, and that's Brent Pallon on the Yamaha. Looks like he's from Scatatoon.
Okay.
So now out front, it looks like that is number 994. Let's see who we got. 994. That's Sean Hyland.
From Fayetteville, Georgia. We told you they have come from all over the United States. They have come from all over the world.
Can he upset some of the world's best? He looks like he's already pulling away.
Yeah.
So it might, it might be set for an upset. But I know we're looking for number 15 Doug Dubach on a Yamaha, number 2 Kurt Nicole on a KTM, and Gordon Ward on a Kawasaki number. I believe Gordon is 744.
Absolutely. We are off and running here at Glen Helen. Beautiful day for racing. It is the 41st annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship. This track is stacked with talent all around. This is the 50-plus moto. Let's take you back to this start, though. Guys, if you've never been to Glen Helen, look at this. This is an absolute football field plus of a start into the high banking of Talladega Turn. Mark, what's going through your mind right here?
Right about now, you're holding your breath, and it's unlike anywhere else. It's a right-hand turn, so those guys can't touch their rear brake. The power that they have going in is the power that they have going in. And, yeah, there's no Doug Dubach siding, no Kurt Nicole siding. Even Gordon Ward was one of the riders down on the bottom of the field being pushed down. So those riders are going to have to come from the back and charge forward. And Sean Hyland is out front, making it look easy, doing his best Jeremy McGrath impression to just disappear.
No doubt about that. Shout out to our comments. Nilbrud's calling you out, too, in the comments, Mark, saying, hey, I did a hill clicker in 93. Thank you guys so much. Again, drop your favorite motorcycle and drop where you are watching from in the comments and let us know you appreciate this live coverage. We're going to be live all weekend long, courtesy of Bud Feldkamp, the entire team here at Glen Helen. As the battles heat up, we are going bar to bar as these Yamahas give it everything they got into Talladega. We've got a pass for the lead. Wow. Pillen, how about that? Second place. Pillen moves into second place. Drossville holding down with the 975. Cotter in third. Negus in fourth. 114 rounding out your top five here. Pylon gone, though. He's got a pretty comfortable lead.
I think that's Highland is that Sean Hyland is the one out front. Apparently his transponder's not working right at this moment.
That does happen from time to time,
We're going to have
right?
to get with Tia over here in the scoring department and have her run out and stop him and change his transponder for us. But, yeah, Hyland is gone. That's Pilon right there. Now he's back in third, I believe. He got passed for second. Wow. And now he's going back to fourth. So I think that was Cotter that came up on him. So, yeah, he's going the wrong way. Somebody needs to put on his pit board. He needs to go the other way. But still, no Doug Dubach or Kurt Nicole. It looks like right now they're back. Kurt Nicole in 8th place, Gordon Ward in 7th place. Look for those two guys to come through the pack.
Shane Hyland, the 994 out of Fayetteville, Georgia. The Georgia boy making that long trip pay off as he is our current leader out there on the Yamaha, doing a tremendous job. As we continue, look at this, just battles all around this racetrack, Mark. I mean, you would think at this point in the race would start to spread out a little bit, but these guys are coming from behind the pack, and they're coming fast.
Yeah, and again, these guys have traveled from a long ways away. We got our leader traveling all the way from Georgia. He doesn't want to go home without that championship, so I think we're going to see Sean coming down the other way. Fitness might become a factor in this as well. I know that we have and a rider down.
Oh man! Let's hope everything.
That doesn't look good.
What in the world was that? What in the world causes that, Mark Tilley? Tons of white smoke coming out of that motorcycle.
Well, white smoke usually means that it's some kind of fluid in a water. So that thing might have expired.
Oh no! Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think happened to the 228 Yamaha out there? There's actually that 220. That might be Cam Negus. Oh, my God, 51 years old on a Yamaha.
Yeah, that was you don't usually see that with
that was just strange.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things. Well, it looks like that the battle for the lead is heating up. I think that's Dorsul, who has been able to, we'll have to look, both out front, but he's been able to bridge that gap and did a Highland get out front and maybe surprise himself and kind of pump up? But that is on the Husky, that is Sean Hyland. That's 975 on his Yamaha, bridging that gap. He's going after that championship, and it looks like he's moving forward and Hyland's moving back.
This is one of the longest motos of the day, 20 minutes plus one. These finely conditioned athletes, for a lot of these individuals, they train all year for this race. This is the largest vet championship in the world. Over 20 countries here competing. Check this move up the hill. This is where you need every bit of horsepower you can possibly get. Look at this, Mark. We are bar to bar. We've got to pass right on top of Mount St. Glen Helen.
And that is a definitely out of California battle. That looks like that is Fayetteville and St. Louis.
How about that?
Going after each other.
Racers here from all over the world. Like we said, 50-plus pro moto. And, you know, this is such a unique race, too, because to be a junior vet, you have to be older than 25 years of age. So we have everything from age 25 all the way to, I think we got somebody here 85 years old competing with us here this weekend. They take this very, very seriously. They are checking birth certificates. They are checking passports.
You think amateur racing is crazy. When it gets with the vet class, it comes to a whole nother level, because there is guys that they're, like we were talking to Josh Mosman earlier from Motocross Action, who's 29. He's not quite 30, so he can't race it this year. There's guys that change their birth date and do that kind of stuff just so that they can do it because they want to win one of these Dubya Vet World Championships so bad.
No doubt about it, as the 994 of Sean Hyland from Fayetteville, Georgia, continues to lead his way around. Do me a favor, guys, smash like on this video. Drop your comment. I want to know, how old are you? Do you still ride? Let's take a look at this pass, Mark. This is where you grab a fistful of throttle and go 35 stories up the Mount St. Glen Helen. What did the rider on the outside do wrong here?
Sean just faded to the outside. I mean, it's something that he could do. He had the other rider had a better line on the inside, and then you got to protect it coming down the hill, because Sean was coming back down to the inside, and he could kind of push him out, and he wasn't able to do it, wasn't able to capitalize on it. But that is the rider 975. We have him listed on a KTM, but he is on a Yamaha.
Maybe a last-minute change. You never know. There's been a lot of bike swapping around here. Yamaha, one of the great sponsors of Glen Helen Raceway. We appreciate them. We appreciate all of our wonderful sponsors we want to hit, and that includes Dubya, Art Levers, ASV Inventions, CC Motorsports, Fun Bike Center, IWC Motorsports Tire Pros, RD Suspension, Shoei CD, Temecula Motorsports, Pro Circuit, Yamaha, and Pasha, and it's getting rough and tumble out there.
And we don't want to say anything, but the legend Kurt Nicole, when it came up last, he was all the way up to 4th overall. So he's coming on strong. So it's definitely, will he be able to hold these guys off? Now, for Kurt, he's got to get up into there. There's the young man that we're talking about, who I believe he's old enough to race the 60 class, but that might not be right. So him right now, this is the legend that we're talking about, and he's got to get up to second place.
No doubt about it, and you're 100% correct. I just checked. Kurt Nicole is 60 years young, so he's got 10 years on some of these young 50-year-old whippersnappers.
Yeah,
as he uses
he's racing
every
with the kids.
Single-inch racetrack. You're talking about one of the top Grand Prix racers who has ever lived right now, and that's what I think is so cool. That's the spirit of this event. Your career is not over just because you get older. We see so many of these fast riders out here in the twilight of their career showing us they can still get it done. Look at Kurt using every inch of racetrack here in San Bernardino.
And if you look at what he's doing, he's riding the edges of the racetrack. He's not just hammering down the middle through stuff. When he's coming down the hill, he's riding the edges. When he's going back up into the canyon, he's riding the edges. He's going a foot farther outside, crossing, moving across. That's what, especially as you get older, you want to miss the bumps. You don't want to hammer through the bumps. You want to miss those bumps. So, again, dealing with some of those shadows, and later on those shadows are just going to get worse. We're still here in the morning time. Like, we're bringing you stuff that we've never brought before. So higher speed going into the back, onto the backtrack.
Here we go,
leaping
Mark.
by.
Nicole's going for it. Nicole, the teacher at Champion MX, I'll tell you, his students are probably taking notes right now because Kurt Nicole, the legend, making that pass stick, and he does. He was lurking inside, outside, studying, found the right opportunity, and Kurt Nicole, right now, the legend, is on the move.
Yeah, and then he comes back down. All those guys are tripling in there. Some of the guys doubling in. But we're looking at the later stages of this moto. Oh, they got 8-lap moto on this, so they're coming. If they come through and we see the cross flags, that means they're at the halfway point in the moto. So Kurt's got a little bit of time. He can make some action happen and make some of those passes to maybe get up. Yep, there it is. Our official starter showing the leader the halfway mark, I think. That might have even been Kurt. Yeah, that was Kurt. So we'll have to get a pulled out version, maybe a drone version shot to see just exactly how close Mr. Nicole is getting to the front of the pack.
Mark, we got to take you back to this pass because let's watch the teacher, the 60-year-old legend, Kurt Nicole, lurking. He goes to the outside. He grabs a fist throw. Great technique on display. And right here, Mark, he makes it stick. Unbelievable racing.
And he goes around the outside, which not very many riders can do. Maybe a handful of riders being able to pull that start off. I know that rider on the inside thought, I can just push him out. Kurt got there first. So definitely got a pulled out drone footage shot. There's your leader right there, headed up the hill. And it's, I believe that's pronounced, I think it's Pascal Dorsul. Highland, nope, that is Kurt Nicole in second place now.
Wow, Nicole up to second. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. You are watching 50-plus Pro Moto 1 from the 41st Annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship here on Racing Jack YouTube. Jack Rapella, Mark Tilley with you. Over 300 people watching us. Smash like. Let me know where you're watching from. Shout out to Soren Johnson watching us from the UK. They are watching from all over the world. I want to know what country is going to take it home. Does the United States of America have a chance to win the World Vets this year? Team Canada has been oh so tough.
Well, and watching from the UK, that young man watching from the UK might have watched Kurt Nicole race MXGPs back in the late 80s.
The Englishman, the proud Englishman.
You never know. So, but that's pretty impressive.
Ooh.
Kurt came from outside the top 10, and we're a little over halfway through this race, and he's going to be pushing for that lead right now. The one rider I'd like to see where he's at is going to be Gordon Ward. We haven't seen anything from Doug Dubach, so not sure if Doug Dubach was on the starting grid, but we haven't seen anything from Doug. But there we go, 975 out front, number 2 in second, Highland in third, Cotter in fourth, Gordon Ward working his way up to fifth, and I think he just made another pass at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. So Gordon's used to doing 45-minute motos when we do off-road stuff, so he's going to come on a little bit stronger, and he rides here when the track gets rough. He usually shows up late on a Thursday and rides and with a group of people. So second moto, Gordon's going to be out there, and he's going to know where all the bumps are on the track.
This is Pascal Dorsul on the Yamaha trying to hold off the legend Kurt Nicole. And look at Kurt closing in. That gap starting to shorten as we head over the finish line once again. Kurt Nicole's got plenty of time to make it stick. A little bit of encouragement out there from Melissa. You got to wonder, at this point, did Pascal maybe go out a little too hard? Kurt seems like he's the opposite philosophy. He seems to get quicker as this thing goes on.
Well, and when you look at it, Kurt was able to gain on him right there. I think that's Gordon Ward coming through. I don't think he's going to have a shot at the top three. He's a little bit far back, but Gordon, like I said, he does a lot of laps here. He's fast, no matter what. But we saw Kurt get right up on the rear fender of him, and then Pascal's kind of, leveled it out. He hasn't been able to get any closer, so
here comes
he's
that
there.
Number 2 on the gas, Mark. Fistful of throttle. Nicole's up to something again. A little bit of a mistake there. That might set him back.
But this is a 2-moto format. A second's as good as the first in the first moto. So Kurt, he's been doing this a long time. He might be able to use some of that racecraft, and he might not feel like he has to win this race because it kind of goes into the second moto. But yeah, so he's been able to get up there. But is it something that the young man out front was able to wick it up a little bit and kind of dig deep because he's been there for a lap and a half now, so he knows he's there. So he's not going to just come by and make a pass on him.
Look at the way they attack those downhills. That is unbelievable. I've tried walking down there, thanks to you, when you let me walk the track. I slipped the whole way down on my butt. These guys go full throttle downhill.
These guys' mentality, because at some point in time, these guys were a local pro or maybe a race in the Nationals. When a pro looks at a downhill, it's just like looking at an uphill. You go as fast as you can. And it's so, and a lot of times when you do that, you can make up a lot of time on either guys that are a little bit, maybe a little more, kind of reserved coming down the hills. But so this is where Nicole
you're fast when you're roosting downhill.
Yeah, and when you turn that top and you start roosting down, you not only that, but you got confidence in everything that's on your motorcycle. So, but yeah, look,
Pascal trying to hold
able
off
to
Nicole.
pull it back
Can
out.
he hold him off? Can he hold him off, Mark Tilley? That's the question. It seems like he's starting to maintain that gap, maybe getting a little bit more comfortable with it. Or does Nicole have one more trick up his sleeve?
He's gonna have to pull it out now because we're getting close. This was I believe an 8-lap event, and they might be coming. I'm not sure if that's lap 5, but I think that's our early leader, Sean Hyland. That was out front early, but it has kind of faded back. So we'll see him coming by I think it's about a 2-lap to go, but we could be wrong. Let's see what our official starter right there is going to. Yep, 2 laps to go.
2 to go, ladies and gentlemen, as we bring this rousing 50-plus opening moto from iconic and legendary Glen Helen Raceway to a close. It is the 41st annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship. Hope you're loving it. What is so special about this event is we've watched pro motocross a lot this year, mainly focusing on 18 to 22-year-old riders. These gentlemen, all 50 and older, and like we mentioned, Kurt Nicole, 60 years young, still getting it done. As somebody in the comments so eloquently said, Ford Trucking, watching the comments, old guys kick. Blank, not going to repeat that, but they certainly do.
And a lot of these guys that are out there right now in this 50-plus pro class were those 18 to 22-year-olds that you were watching when you were 18 to 22. If you're on the older side of the spectrum right now, all of these guys, premier athletes. I know that man right there, Gordon Ward, on his Kawasaki KX450. Was one of those guys when they were going to nationals and doing some supercross and all that stuff. I think he was a Carlsbad legend. So Gordon definitely, again, I'm 10 years younger than him, and every time I line up with him, I get a big smile on his face. The best part about Gordon is he's got a big smile on his face. Whether or not he beats you or you beat him, he's just out there enjoying the ride. He's essentially what you'd be calling a soul rider because he's out there to have fun. I love racing him because you never have to worry about anything unless I do something dumb and take us both out. But it's a great thing. So these were legends of the sport. So, and it looks like that Yamaha rider able to pull it out, able to make it. I don't think Kurt's going to be able to get him.
We'll see. He's running out of time. Nicole giving it everything he got. It was great to visit with him yesterday. They've got about 15 motorcycles out of Champion MX all lined up, all his students. And right now, he is putting on a clinic as he rides around one of the toughest tracks, one of the most famous tracks in the country here in San Bernardino, California. It is one of the first motos of the 41st annual Dubya World Vet MX Championship. So glad you are watching with us live. Big thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors, Bud Feldkamp, his entire team here at Glen Helen. As I mentioned earlier, 2 guys, we're racing with a heavy heart, dedicating it all to our buddy Chad Tucker of Glen Helen, who we unfortunately lost in August, missing him dearly. But I know he is smiling down at this incredible racing action. He was all about grab a fistful of throttle, and he's loving what the 975 of Pascal is doing right now on that Yamaha as he races towards the Glen Helen finish line. Here comes the white flag for the Yamaha of Pascal. Let's check out the gap.
That's huge.
I wonder if Nicole went down. Did he make a mistake?
He's right there.
There's Nicole.
Maybe he just got tired of having to come from behind.
Well, it happens, and you've said it, Mark, that, in Moto number 1, what's the old cliche? A 2 is as good as a 1. It'll be a combined results. A lot of combined scoring today for the team element and also the individual element as you continue to watch the largest single vet championship in the world. You've seen Moto Donations. This is kind of like vet donations. They are here from all over, and we will keep you abreast of all the information as to who will bring it home. Unfortunately, Mark Tilley's injured, or he might be out there for Team USA. We got to get Team USA back on top of the box here. We're going to have to make some calls in the Rolodex because Canada and Italy have been running away with it the last few years.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Dorsel. He was able to stop that attack. He's been out front for a long time, had that pressure from behind. Kurt Nicole come up on him. You have a legend like Kurt come up on you, and you're able just to kind of brush it off and move on and pull back out.
Which is lap traffic here?
Yeah, that's all lap traffic. But yeah, I mean that's pretty amazing. That getting a little crazy.
You don't want, and that's Glen Helen. That speaks to what can happen here. You make one mistake, even with a big, comfortable lead. There are so many vicious ruts out there that our coverage is great, courtesy of L&M Media. They do a wonderful job, but I'm sure you agree, Mark, the coverage does not do justice to just how rough that track is and how deep some of those ruts are and how slippery it is out there.
Well, and just the bumps coming down. Those look like little tiny bumps, but by the end of the day, they'll be swallowing motorcycles whole. So, and just when you think you got Glen Helen figured out, it reaches up and grabs you and brings you back down to reality of who's really in charge here. But yeah, really, really impressed with the rider out here in front, able to hold off Kurt and able to put some time back into him and make it look easy.
Pascal moving on that Yamaha. He's got a few more turns left to go to take the checkered flag here at Moto number 1 for 50 plus. The pros out there putting on a great display. Beautiful Southern California day for racing. If it's cold where you're at, I'm sorry, but we'll warm you up with this live coverage here on Racing Jack YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Again, guys, smash like, get subscribed. Let us know where you're watching from. And I certainly hope you have an opportunity to join us here one day at Glen Helen. We do the two-stroke nationals here. We do NGPC here. We do Bud Feldkamp's Moto Fest here. There is always something going on, and at any given point, there could be a top pro testing out here so close to all the factories in Southern California. A few more turns left to go. Here we go, Mark Tilley racing towards a finish. Will it be a Yamaha? I know I got a lot of Blue Crew fans watching as Melissa gets ready to wave that checkered flag. Let's give a big congratulations to Pascal taking home the win in 50 plus Moto 1. Now here comes Kurt Nicole working his way through lap traffic. The legend coming home on top of the box. As Mark said, 2's as good as a 1 right there. We'll see what he does in Moto number 2.
And I think Sean Hyland was our third place finisher, so finishing on that podium in third place. So, wow, cool racing action. There's Gordon Ward coming across in fourth. Look for Gordon to maybe do a little bit better in Moto 2 that will be live on Motocross Action's YouTube channel. And as you mentioned, all of those events, here comes the IWC Tire Pros results of the 50 plus pro class. Moto 1 on Saturday. We got Pascal Dorsel, Kurt Nicole, Sean Hyland, Gordon Ward, Julian Cerny, Mike Cotter, Brent Pallon, who was out front early.
Yeah.
Sean Coverson and Michael De Bosco and Troy Cardell rounding out the top 10. Thank you for that, IWC Tire Pros. But just like you mentioned, all of those things that you mentioned in Moto Fest, two-stroke nationals, this W Vet World Championship, all on either Motocross Action's YouTube, Dirt Bike Magazine's YouTube, or Racing Jack's YouTube. So you can go watch all this stuff. All of this stuff is live and ready to watch just about any time.
That's right, and we will be right back after this, guys. Stay with us. the 41st Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship, brought to you by Fun Bike Center, IWC Motorsports Tire Pros, and by RD Suspension.
Ladies and gentlemen, go wild. Ben Cali gets it done. Your overall champ here in 2025.
Welcome back, everybody, to beautiful Glen Helen Raceway, San Bernardino, California. Yeah, more bikes out there. We've got over 1,400 entries, and we will be racing all day today, all day tomorrow, and we have got some great battles in store for you. It is the 41st Annual Dubya World Vet Motocross Championship, and I do believe our very own Josh Mosman is down on the podium right now. Let's send it down to Josh Mosman.
50 plus Pro Moto #1. Insane to watch this guy race. Pascal was so impressive. I was watching him on Thursday when we were practicing. I said, this guy's pretty quick. Then I watched him in the 40 plus pro race yesterday, and I was like, man, I can't believe this guy is 40 years old. And then I see him in the 50 plus race, and I was like, no way this guy's 50 years old. So are you sure you're 50 years old? Are you really 50 years old?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm very happy. I good start. And like motocross, Kurt Nicole, it's my fan, and young guy. I very happy.
That's cool.
Yes, 54.
54. 54 years old, and so he speaks French. English is second language, but watching this guy on the track, I mean, you do not look like you're 54 years old. You look in great shape. So how was it to keep Kurt Nicole behind you and tackle this track here at Glen Helen? What was it like for you?
For me, Kurt Nicole, it's the star. It's a congratulations for the career of the motocross. Yep. I don't. It's incredible. I'm given one first for the Kurt Nicole. I'm very, very happy, very happy.
That's cool. What do you do for training? Everybody wants to know, because watching you do not look 54. So what do you do to train and to keep yourself young?
Training, I like to drink the beer, and I practice mountain bike, e-bike, and training, on speed training, no endurance and speed training. Nice. Very nice. And I like sport. I like technique. I like training.
That's cool. Athletic. This guy is certainly athletic. All the way from, can you explain where you're from? A little island near Madagascar, off the coast of Africa, like a long ways to come here. Is this your first time?
A long plane and Réunion Island from Paris from Los Angeles, and go to Glen Helen.
That's cool.
It's very good. It's incredible for me.
We were just looking it up on the map. It's Reunion Island. It's off the coast. It's a small little island off the coast of Madagascar, which is off the coast of Africa. So you flew from there to Paris to here to LAX to race motocross at World Vet. So congratulations. I'm excited to see you some more. Good luck in the next one.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I like USA. I like. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Off the coast of Africa all the way to San Bernardino, California. Was that awesome or what? Thank you guys so much for watching this moto. We've got more action coming up on the Motocross Action YouTube channel. Mark, this has just been great. Tough talent here from all over the world.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing. Josh doing an amazing job getting us all that information, making stuff happen. So don't forget to right now head over to Motocross Action's YouTube channel. More racing action. Second moto of this. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, drop a comment down below, share this coverage. We'll see you over at MXA. He's Mark Tilley. I'm Jack Rapella from iconic and legendary Glen Helen Raceway. Let's get you set for the World Cup coming up on Motocross Action Magazine YouTube. We'll see you in just a little bit, everybody.